Okay, today I'm going to go through a first day scrape. So I tied this blank yesterday and it looks pretty good. Notice I've already taken cane off of the top here. And we're just going to quickly go through this today. My knife is sharp. I just sharpened it. So I'm going to start by removing the bark in the center, to the sides, avoiding the spine, of course. You want to get the bark off, but I always just start by removing the bark in the middle and then work my way outwards. You'll notice I start pretty quickly. I'm not taking my time too much here, just because I want to get this to vibrate quickly. So I'm just removing the bark and the underbark. Sometimes if you take too much time in the beginning here removing the bark, it's going to take a lot longer time to get the reed to vibrate, and it can be a little discouraging. So just really working mindfully and carefully, but also you can work a little quicker in the beginning once you're comfortable with the way you handle your knife. So obviously if you're newer, you're going to take a little more time here. If you're still getting used to how your knife feels scraping the cane. But I'm just removing the bark. Notice I've gone back and forth, so now I'm removing the bark from the back. Careful to leave the rails. Keep the reed soaked. Yeah, awesome. This is looking good. Getting the cane off here. And as I'm scraping, removing this bark, I just want to tell you about the workshop I'm going to have in June. It's June 19th through the 21st. And be hosting some reed making sessions on Zoom. So we'll go through some of the core elements of reed making and knife care, and finishing reeds, starting reeds, tying blanks, things like that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's totally free, and you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions, to get to know kind of my teaching style. So those sessions should last about an hour. And yeah, I really hope you can join me. They'll be at different times. Thursday and Friday, they'll be at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then that Saturday, June 21st, we'll do it at 1:30 Eastern time. So really hope you can join me. You'll get a taste of what it's like to be in my membership, my reed making membership, the Reed Lab. We have a small group of folks now who gather each week, and we make reeds. We talk about different things, different steps of the reed making process. We troubleshoot any problems we're having, and it's just a great way to connect with other oboists and also learn from one another. And I'm really enjoying that group and working with them, getting to know them and helping them with their reeds. So I would love to see you there and get to know you as well. Let's see, I have already scraped most of this bark off now. I'm going to soak it again. Yeah, and full disclosure, so that'll just be when I open the doors to the membership again, will be during that workshop. So if you enjoy working with me during that time, then yeah, I invite you to come join us every week. So I will leave the link to sign up for that workshop in the description box. And of course, if you can't make it, just let me know. You can still, there'll be an opportunity to join the membership, or I might even have a replay available if maybe you live in a different time zone and can't join us. So very excited about that. And if there's any topics you're interested in learning about during those workshops, let me know. I'm happy to cover those. Okay, so I've taken the bark off, and you can tell the reed has a little flexibility right now, which is good. Just going to clean up some of these grooves that I made just a little bit. Take a little more of that underbark off. When you clip the reed open, you really want it to be at the point where it's going to, the reed's flexing some, because if it's a board, if it's so hard and it doesn't have any give at all, it's going to be very unmanageable. But this is pretty good, and it's kind of trial and error. So maybe you start 2 reeds like this and you take one a little further than the other and see which one you like better. So maybe you clip this one open here and you start another one. You're like, okay, let me take a little more cane off and see, because that's the only way you'll learn how much flexibility is really the right amount. So from here, I'll clip the reed open, clip about 1 millimeter off. Okay, and take your plaque, and we'll just work from the top back. And again, we're just getting cane off here. So I work to the top. My knife is kind of angled outwards this way. And I'm just getting cane off. Again, this reed is still pretty long, so I'm not worried about all the fine details right now because I'm going to clip a good amount off this tip still. And right now I'm just going to work in the sides of the tip and the sides of the heart, that blend area. Notice we haven't put a line or defined really the back yet at all. We're just getting this cane in or off the top here and the tip and the sides of the heart, because the vibrations enter from the tip and then they go backwards. So if this is super thick up here, the vibrations will have nowhere to go. And if you take a little bit off the tip, say you catch a corner or something, it's not the end of the world. Just be mindful as the tip gets thinner to be a little more careful with how you scrape. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna wet it again. This is kind of what it looks like before I wet it. Notice it's a little small right here in the opening, but that's okay because it's pretty long. We're gonna clip it. Okay, and when I check for this, you can tell it's very closed right now, but I need to clip it. If I were to crow it, it would sound like a party favor right now. Yeah, you can tell. Okay, so let's clip another 1 millimeter off. All right, and I time my blinks at 74, so we should be around 72 right now. Crow it again. Actually, let's test for flexibility first. You can tell the opening as we clip it gets a little bigger. All right, let's crow it. Yeah, I like the bones of this already. We're still pretty long though, so we have to do more of the same. Now, what I meant when I said I liked the bones of it, the closure's nice, so it closes, outside corners close in first and the middle closes last. And it had a nice peep, so when I just blew into it, so not a full crow, just seeing how minimal amount of air it would take for the reed to make a sound. So that's what we call the peep. We'll talk more about that in the workshop too, and kind of what the difference is and how it can really help you as you make reeds by understanding the difference. So noticing I'm just doing the same thing here, so always keep it symmetrical, so side to side. Take a little bit off here. Yeah, but this reed had a good peep and a little bit of not a super hard crow. It just seemed long. The reed seemed long because it was flat. And that's okay because we are going to keep working it back. Okay, let's do the same thing. Let's see what it looks like right now. Yeah. And give it a crow. Peep first. Nice. Okay. I always like to clip it when it's crowing too much. You can tell here it's very long. We're at 73. Let's clip a whole millimeter off. So now we should be around 72. Must have clipped a little less off than I thought in the beginning. Okay, so see how the opening is starting to look nice? Okay, I wet it again. You can see the closure here. There's still water in there, so it's hard to tell. Okay, let's give this a peep and a crow. Nice. Notice that every time I clip it back, it still has a little bit of a peep and a crow without me working too hard. All it's doing is clipping it back adds a little more resistance and strength and opening to the reed. So this is why I like to start with the reed long and work my way back. I just feel like you get so much more out of it, and the reed will just last longer because you're taking your time and you're always working from a place of vibrations. You're not on a quest to find them. So if you clip the reed open and it doesn't peep or crow yet, then before you clip it back anymore, you need to work in these areas where I'm working right now. Now my back, you might say, well, Kelly, you haven't touched your back yet. I haven't done a lot, but I actually have created flexibility back there. And in just a moment, we will define where the back of the back is, but I kind of wait until the reed is closer to a finished length. Okay, keep going here. And you can tell right here I've got thick places, so I'm just going to remove those thick places. See, now it's nice and smooth again. Tilt your plaque up. Let's wet it again. Because that's the only way you can see what the tip looks like, is if you wet it just a little bit. Okay, you might notice there's some grooves on this side. Really not a big deal. That was just me working too fast probably, and my knife caught on the cane. Maybe the cane was a little dry. That'll happen too. Okay. All right, let's see what this crow's like now. Peep first. And then I always flick it on my tongue because I just feel finished reeds, when you tongue on them, they have a certain ease about them. And it's easy to tongue, so this is easy. This is also flat, and it's long still, so we're gonna clip, just under half, or under a millimeter, since we're starting to get a little shorter. Give it a peep. Okay, now notice now when it's getting shorter or closer to finish length, that's when you can really tell it, when you clip it, it cancels out the vibrations. Okay, so we're getting pretty close. I like to look down my reed as well. Check for a nice slope. Okay, since we're still a little long, this side I've been kind of ignoring because it's a little thin right here. I don't want to take that corner off. Okay, but we still have to thin right there. The tip is pretty thick. Okay, but I'm leaving the center of the tip. Other side. Okay, this tip is pretty thin, so I don't really want to do much else. Okay. Now this next clip, we're going to take it down closer to 71, which is, I like to let my reeds dry around 71 after the first day's scrape. Notice the opening, it's looking pretty good. Let's give it a peep. Oh yeah, definitely rattly. We're gonna clip it back, and then we're gonna put our tip line in. So another 0.5 millimeter. Okay, let's go ahead and put a rough tip line in. We want it to be pretty symmetrical And I like my tip lines to be finished around 66 to 65, but sometimes I'll start it a little bit higher. This is probably 66 and a half. And I do recommend you measure. I've been doing this a while and you can kind of eyeball it and then measure it later. Yep, this is just a smidgen over 66, so that's fine. And then you want to make sure the other side matches. So I kind of score it. And then up and away. So score a little line. And we're barely taking anything out in front of it. We're just creating symmetry here. There we go. Other side. You want it to be exactly even. Okay. There we go. Again, score it and then lift up and away. And I'm not taking much cane off at all. Again, we've already worked in this area. We're just creating some symmetry to help us create balance in the reed. And I just find it helps me to be honest about my symmetry when I'm finishing reeds. And it creates those proportions in the reed that helps me to know if it's where the thick places are. Okay. Let's give it a little peep and a crow. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know if you heard that seal just then. It seals very nicely. Closes outside edges in. The middle closes last. Very nice. And we look at it. Different angles. It looks good. Now, what I will say is I haven't really defined where my back is. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it doesn't take much. I'm just going to take my knife and score the back of the heart. Take a little bit off the outside. I've already taken cane off right here in this back area, so I don't need to do much. I'm just kind of committing. That's where it is. And then a little bit off in the back above the throat. You can do more of this later as well. I did a lot of this in the beginning before I even clipped the reed open when I was taking the bark off. So I don't have to do much because we build flexibility from the beginning. Okay, let's give it a crow. Nice. Okay, well, that is a good day one reed. So I would leave it there and we'll come back to it another day. So yeah, again, I put the link in the description box below to sign up for the workshop in mid-June. And I really hope you can be there. It'll be a lot of fun and I want you to get a lot out of it. So drop in the comments below if there's anything you want me to talk about, or just go ahead and sign up for the workshop. Even if you can't be there, go ahead and sign up because I'll be sending some emails out and you'll get information about joining the Reed Lab. So see you next time. Bye, you guys.